Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us our eminent presenter, Shri Mohammad Tanveer Khan, IRSC Deputy Chief Project Management Manager, DFCCIL. He worked as Assistant Divisional Engineer and Divisional Engineer in Indian Railways, presently working on deputation in Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited, Ministry of Railways, as Deputy Chief Project Manager cum Joint General Manager in Noida. His thrust areas are engineering and technology, construction management, train operation, infrastructure development for the overall development of the country, sustainable construction, waste management in big construction projects, etc. He has published and presented more than 15 papers in various national and international journals, seminars, and conferences. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and over to you, sir, for your presentation.
Very warm welcome to all the guests and delegates. Today in my presentation, I will be providing an overview of this esteemed project, that is Dedicated Freight Corridor, being undertaken by Government of India under the aegis of Ministry of Railways. During my presentation, I will be letting you through introduction of this project, what are the benefits and objectives of this project, what is the comparison when we compare it with the existing railway network, what are the differences, and what are the developments which are being taking place due to coming of this project, what is the impact of this project on overall environment, the best quality infrastructure being used in this project, and its commissioning and operation. So first of all, I will introduce you about this project, how it was thought of and how it was proceeded. The existing trunk routes of Howrah Delhi on Eastern Corridor and Mumbai Delhi on Western Corridor were highly saturated. It is a well-known fact. We also know that the national highways which are along these eastern and western corridors, it is only 0.5% of the total road network of the country and carries almost 40% of the road traffic. The surging power need, requirement of heavy coal movement, booming infrastructure, construction and growing international trade led to the conception of what we call dedicated freight corridors along the eastern and western routes to begin with. These corridors will decongest the already saturated road network and promote the shifting of freight transportation to more efficient rail transport. The Ministry of Railways has embarked upon a long-term strategic plan to construct high-capacity, high-speed dedicated freight corridors along the Golden Quadrilateral and its diagonals. The project will immensely benefit the ports. These are few of the benefits. However, the benefits of this project are long lasting and those will be witnessed by the people in the coming years. The project will benefit the ports, exporters, importers, shipping lines, and container operators and other consumers of rail transport. This will act as a catalyst for the development of industry and the areas along the corridor. This will provide much needed rail infrastructure for growth of Indian economy and export import, what we call EXIM trade. The project will also generate indirect employment during the construction phase. In general, this project will benefit the general public at large. Now we will talk about the objectives which are behind the conception of this project. This project aims to bring a paradigm shift in freight operations for the prime objectives which are listed below. Reduction in unit cost of transportation with higher speed of freight trains, better turnaround of wagons and thereby much improved wagon productivity in terms of improved ton kilometer per wagon per day. Increased payload to tail ratio by introduction of higher axle load wagons on the railway network. Improved locomotive utilization and improved specific fuel consumption. The ultimate objective is to reduce operation and maintenance cost. And in penultimate analysis, this reduction in cost will be passed on to the customers. Dedicated freight corridors aim to provide faster and cheaper freight movement across the country by taking into account the social and environment impact also. In a brief, in a pictographic diagram, the objectives are being explained. As I have explained, the reduction in unit cost, segregation of freight infrastructure for focused approach on both passenger and freight business, introduction of high-end technology and IT packing for freight services, increase of rail share in freight market, which is being reduced day by day, create additional rail infrastructure to cater to high levels of transport demand, introduction of timetabled, mind it, timetabled freight services and guaranteed transit time. When we compare this project with the existing railway networks, following points are to be discussed. This project is quite different from existing rail network as only freight trains will be operated on these corridors. The trains will run at a higher speed with 25-ton axle load, which will be in turn upgraded to 32.5-ton heavy axle load. At present, in railway, we are using 22.8-ton axle load. Long haul operations with trailing load of up to 12,000 ton, increasing the maximum permissible speed of freight trains from 75 km per hour to 100 km per hour. The average speed of the train on DFCC will be more than 75 km per hour. For the first time in railway history, the mobile radio communication and global system for mobile communication, what we call GSM, based tracking of freight trains will be used. Through dedicated freight corridor, it will be possible to run freight trains according to the timetable and with guaranteed transit time. This can never be thought of in existing railway network. In this photograph, you can see the state-of-art high-rise OHE with a train having double stack containers. With the development of dedicated freight corridors, the logistic hubs will automatically develop in and around. Multimodal logistic parks, freight terminals and theme parks alongside DFCC will also be developed. Such commercial hubs will definitely generate lot of employment opportunities to the local public. Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor Development Corporation, what we call DMICDC, constructed along the Western Corridor for building of industrial hubs along the corridor, and Amritsar Delhi Kolkata Industrial Corridor planned along Eastern Corridor will revolutionize the industrial base of Indian economy. The development of Amritsar Delhi Kolkata Industrial Corridor be taken up in a band of 150 to 200 km on either side of Eastern Corridor in a phased manner. This will use both public-private partnership, that is PPP approach, and non-PPP approach. Presently, industries have started coming up along the freight corridors due to better transit time. Such commercial hubs will definitely generate lot of employment, as I have discussed before. By building of freight corridors, existing lines of Indian Railways will able to reduce congestion and run more and more passenger trains efficiently. Following other benefits of DFCCIL, as I have already explained, Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor along WDFC and Amritsar Kolkata Industrial Corridor along EDFC will revolutionize the industrial base of the economy. It will provide lots of opportunity to people for growth of per capita income. Industries will come up along the freight corridor due to better transit time, reduction of accidents, environment friendly transport system, and reduction in pollution. You can see here in these photographs the logistic hubs are being shown. Such type of logistic hubs will be developed alongside of Eastern and Western corridors or of Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited. Now we will talk about the impact of these corridors on the environment. On a cumulative basis, over 30 years in the Eastern Corridor, the non-DFC scenario produces 2.5 times more greenhouse gases emissions than the DFC scenario. While for Western Corridor, the non-DFC scenario produces 6 times more greenhouse gases emissions than DFC scenario. DFC intends to follow a low carbon path, adopting various technological options which can help dedicated freight corridor to operate in a more energy efficient fashion and at the same time explore options to offset its own greenhouse gas emissions by investing in low carbon assets such as solar power, wind power, and afforestation. Some of the interventions which could reduce greenhouse gases are communication based train control system, what we call CBTC, driver advice system, regenerative braking, aerodynamic profiling in rolling stock, and on-board lubrication system. The implementation of dedicated freight corridor is expected to generate two major impacts on the freight movement: shift of freight from road to low carbon intensive mode rail transport, and inherent improvement in energy efficiency of freight rail through adoption of improved technologies. In this context, DFC has undertaken a detailed study on greenhouse gas emissions forecasting for 30-year period under two scenarios, where one scenario represents implementation and operation of DFC and other represent absence of DFC, and transportation of freight through a mix of existing rail and road network. As per the study, green DFC will save more than 450 million tons of carbon dioxide in 30 years. You can see what is the impact of upcoming of this project on the environment. We will be using best quality infrastructure for the construction of this project. We are creating the infrastructure of best quality and matching the global standards by using the best quality materials and best world-class machineries. In addition to this, by introducing the various checks and balances at each and every step of pre-construction, during construction, and post-construction activities, we are maintaining the best quality of construction. For laying the track laying machinery being used in the DFCC has never been used in India before. It is manufactured by United States based company Harsco Rail. Harsco Rail's new track construction, what we call NTC machine, installs new track on a previously prepared ballast bed in a continuous operation. This machine lays more than 1.5 kilometer of track per day, improving productivity, safety, efficiency, and of course, the quality of the track. track. You can see in this photograph NTC working behind a group of people, and this group of people is an esteemed group in which Vice Chairman Niti Aayog was visiting the site along with Chairman Railway Board, and they appreciated the work of track laying in dedicated freight corridor. Commissioning and operation. The commissioning of dedicated freight corridor will revolutionize the freight movement scenario, facilitating speedier and reliable services, providing impetus for industrial growth and help diversify logistic options. Since ports are an extremely important infrastructure link for movement of goods, raw materials, dedicated freight corridor will actively seek to connect with ports in its influence zone. The policy will be applicable to all port terminals for the purpose of connectivity with the dedicated freight corridor network. Finally, recently, Khurja Bahupur section of around 350 km of Eastern Corridor was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi and dedicated to nation in December 2020. Simultaneously, the Rewari Madar section of Western Corridor was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister and dedicated to nation in January 2021. Other sections of dedicated freight corridor are planned to be opened by June 2022. Regarding the operation, I am very much pleased to mention that the trains in the section are achieving average speed of more than 75 km per hour routinely. Even the trains have crossed the 99 km per hour milestone. These speeds are even more than the average speed of Rajdhani trains. In a nutshell, dedicated freight corridor is the need of our and has to play a wider role in the overall development of the country, our motherland, India. That's all from my side. Thanks.